Today we're doing something we've never done before. We are smoking a turkey. Hello everyone, Sonny's BBQ head pitmaster Shannon back with another Tales from the Pit. Today we're doing something super special. I'm excited, you can see it in front of me, we're smoking a turkey. I'm showing you how to smoke a turkey. And if I'm smoking a turkey, that means we're getting to the point of the year that is fall, my favorite time of the year. Fall is my absolute favorite time of the year because football's back, right? And I just enjoy the fact that family and friends and everybody is gonna be coming over. Not to mention smoking a turkey, having those leftovers days afterwards on a turkey sandwich with cheese and some mayonnaise. Hey, there's nothing better than that, right? So, but I always get the question of, hey, how do you smoke a turkey? How do you prep it up? What do you do? The best temperatures. So today I'm going to show you that because sometimes this is a very difficult meat to smoke. Remember, turkey doesn't have a lot of collagen to it, right? It's a lot of water weight. Those fibers, those proteins open up really well and all that water leaks out. So we have to try to figure out a way to inject or to put more moisture and flavor into that turkey before you actually put it on your smoker, which you're going to see a little bit later. Totally cool. I'm going to show you that today. So first way is that you can inject more flavor back into a turkey is injection. Now you can find stuff in the store, such as a garlic butter that you can inject. They have those available on any shelf in any grocery store. But if you don't have that available, if you're a little bit scared of needles, right, like I am, I got tattoos, but I'm scared of needles, so just what it is. You can actually create what I like to call a brine. And you're asking, what is a brine? A brine is just basically submerging a protein or an item into liquid to inject, to add more flavor, to add more goodness back into the actual whatever you're gonna submerge or whatever you're gonna brine. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna create our brine and let's get working on that. All right, let's create this brine. So I'm gonna take this turkey. All right, so just to let you know, disclaimer, I'm gonna get up and personal with this turkey today, okay? So just be aware of that. Gonna switch out to my bucket. Okay, first thing in a brine. We wanna start off with our seasonings, okay? Because we're gonna add the liquid last. Great brines have pepper to them. You can see this heavy mesh black pepper. I love it. I love a little bit of spiciness. You can add cayenne. You can add, you know, a little bit of whatever, some hot sauce. That's totally fine. I'm gonna add pepper because it's gonna give you my spiciness. All right. Every brine that you have will have salt, whether it be a kosher salt, whether it be a grounded up iodized salt. You need salt, okay? Because a brine is supposed to deliver saltiness. That's how those pores open. It sucks back in this saltiness. So I'm gonna use a kosher salt just because I like kosher salt. It melts. It's a little bit, it's definitely better in my opinion. So one of my favorite seasonings is dill. Dill goes great on beef. It goes great on pork, and it definitely goes great on poultry. So go ahead and dump some dill in there, some fresh dill. All right, don't get the stuff that's already cut up. Fresh dill goes a long way. And magic ingredient here, I got some W sauce or Worcestershire sauce, okay? If you can't pronounce it, just call it W sauce, all right? It's good. It's got that nice sweetness to it, so you don't have to throw any sugar in there. Now you can put sugar, regular granulated sugar, but this W sauce actually goes really well and it's gonna soak back into this turkey and give it a nice little tint to it. All right, last but not least, we got buttermilk, okay? You can find buttermilk at a store. You can mix whole milk with lemon juice and let it kind of marinate together. It'll still give you buttermilk, but we're gonna use buttermilk because we're gonna want to submerge this entire turkey. Now you're gonna need a lot. You're gonna need a gallon of buttermilk in this entire mixture. So you're just gonna want to pour this whole thing in. Just add it all the way to your mixture. Now the good news is, if your turkey is big like this one is, you may need to add a little bit more. You may need to add a little bit more buttermilk. Do not add any more of the seasonings, okay? Do not add any more. So I'm gonna put this turkey in, see where it comes up to, and add a little bit more buttermilk just depending on where I'm at. Remember, 5-gallon bucket. Boom. That turkey's all the way covered. So this is probably about, I don't know, maybe a 14-pound turkey. So for a 14-pound turkey, this recipe does well. The turkey's all the way submerged in the buttermilk. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this over, we're gonna put a lid on the top of this, take it to our fridge, let it marinate for 24 hours. Let it sit overnight, all right? Turkey prep does not start the day of, it starts the day before. Let it marinate overnight. and then you're gonna bring it back out. What we're gonna do, we're gonna create our rub, and then we're gonna rub it down and get it on our smoker. So I'll see you guys in about 24 hours. I'll be back. All right, so our turkey is brining. It's gonna have that flavor that you're gonna absolutely love. That saltiness is gonna go back into it. So that's gonna sit for 24 hours. But in the meantime, I'm gonna kind of build my rub. You guys have seen on previous episodes of Tales from the Pit, this is a base rub. This is my favorite rub. It's great for poultry. How to smoke a chicken, you can check that in the description box below. Kind of the same thing because it's poultry, so same rub. But I got kosher salt here. All right, I have a little bit of brown sugar. One of my favorite seasonings, smoked paprika. A little bit of black pepper. And use the thicker grade. You can use the ground stuff, but the thicker grade is great because it brings out a nice little crust on the turkey, so that's okay. And a little bit of garlic powder. This is a base rub. This is great for poultry. Listen, the rub is, you need a rub when you do barbecue. That's just a simple fact. You need a rub. But in the same breath is that don't let the rub overpower the natural flavor of the turkey, especially when you're brining it. Okay, you don't need a ton of salt. You don't need a ton of pepper. Just remember, you're brining in that W sauce, that buttermilk, and all that goodness that you put in there, especially that dill. Don't let the rub overpower the turkey. You still want to have the flavor of the turkey, the natural flavor of the actual brine that you're doing, and you want to have some rub in there. It's 3 levels of flavor that you're injecting, not to mention the smoke is coming next. Just gonna mix all that up, and it's a beautiful color. This rub is great for everything. You can put it in a seal-tight jar and have it up for about 14 days. So create a little bit, create a lot. It's good for a couple of weeks, and you can put it on beef, chicken, or pork. Okay, rub's done. Ready to go get the turkey. It's been sitting for about a day, so we're gonna bring it on out, get it rubbed down, get it on the smoker. We will be back. All right, 24 hours, bird's brined, feeling good about it. It's looking juicy. So let's bring it out and let's do some stuff to it before we decide to stick it on our smoker here. Just make sure you shake off some of the excess. That's really important, okay? Get some of the excess off of there. And look at that. That's nice, okay? Some of the dill stuck to it. It's feeling a little bit more plump as well. I feel good about that. So that means probably some of that saltiness, some of that stuff that got in here. That feels really nice. Now, we're gonna put some rub on it, but before we do that, I think it's super important that you note that the rub is only gonna stick if a bird is dry or if any piece of protein is dry. This turkey needs to be kind of patted down. Don't wipe it down. All right, just a regular paper towel, clean paper towel at that. Just kind of wanna pat it dry. Get some of this excess off of it, get some of the excess moisture. The brine did its job, right? It soaked back into the turkey. It went back into those pores that are open inside that brine. The salt got in there a little bit, but the outside is not gonna do you any favors because you just need to kind of pat it dry because we want that rub to stick. We don't want that rub automatically washing off. We don't want that kind of stuff happening because the rub it took enough time to make, needs to be staying on that turkey. Pat it dry the best you can. All right, you don't need to wipe it clean. Just a quick pat, get some of the excess. All right, cool, done. That's all we need to do. Now we're gonna just rub this bird down. Now you have all this rub, you need to use it all. You need to make sure that you use every little piece of this rub, both top, bottom, sides, all that good stuff, because you wanna make sure that this bird is nice and covered. All right, you just take it in your hands, you can pat down the sides. Remember, Barbecue Bible, a rub is not a rub. All right, rule number 1, rub is not a rub. Just pat it in. So if you have this stuff, just pat it in. Just like so, easy enough. Get all the way around. Get those thighs down here. Breast needs an ample enough covering. Wings, everywhere needs that rub. Don't be shy, don't be scared. of a little bit of flavoring. All right, now before we take this on over to the smoker, there's something we have to do. You want to remove the stuff in the innards, the neck bone and all that stuff in the middle. Just throw it back in your brine bucket. Okay, just that. Now what you could do is I have some lemon and I have some red onion right here. We're gonna stuff this in the middle just to add a little bit more flavor. Just stuff that on in there. Now you could do oranges, you could do lemon, you could do lime, you could do whatever you want to add to the middle of this, because that flavor of the vegetables and the end of that lemon is going to go seep in the inside to the outside. So it's going to flavor deep down in that turkey where your rub didn't reach to, give you another level of flavor that we talked about. Stuff it to the gills, stuff it all the way up. It can hold a lot in there. Now, just going to take it. You can tie it back up. Normally they have these little plastic tabs that you can wrap it back up. All right, we got this turkey all rubbed down. Let's get it on over to our smoker. So now here we are. Got my smoker heated up to 325. You can go 325 to 350. My pellet smoker, I love it because outdoors, as a set it, forget it, delivers that nice smoke. Really good because you need a constant source of heat for turkey because you want to kind of cook it evenly. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what's gonna happen now. Pop the doors open. Now, I transitioned my turkey to a pan because I want to catch all those drippings. I want to catch all that goodness that I'm going to want to base it with throughout the entire cooking process. So make sure you have a pan big enough to be able to sustain this, sustain the weight. It's going to go on. Remember, this is a long cook. This is going to be about 6 hours before you start to touch it, before you start to do stuff with it. So keep that in mind, but they'll go in for a smoke nap and then we'll be back. We're going to close it up. All right, our turkey has been smoking for about 6.5 hours. I'm excited to see it, so let's go grab it and see how we did. Woo! Nice and hot in here. All right, let's take it off. Remember, we wrapped it during the process. 2.5 hours of smoke. Wrapped it during that process. The rub is set, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this thing off. And oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Check it out. Look at this turkey. So all that juice that we talked about cooking in this pan is saved at the bottom. That rub created a nice crust, a nice bark, if you will. Looks absolutely amazing, and I guarantee you can see the vegetables down in the middle of it where we stuffed it. Those vegetables gave those aromatics inside that meat. Guarantee you this is gonna be a really flavorful turkey. So let's go and pull it out. Super hot, oh my gosh. Okay, now sit these juices off to the side. Do not get rid of them. I repeat, do not get rid of them. You can make them into a gravy. You can make them into a, kind of a stock for dipping juice for your turkey. Totally fine. So we're gonna just take this plastic off this turkey. So the last thing to do is to slice into it, right? We gotta taste it. We gotta see how we did, and it looks phenomenal. So it passes the look appearance. I gotta taste it. It's like, I wish you could hear it. It's cutting like butter. That's when you know you kind of got it right. Oh, knives. Look at this knife. I got a nice carving knife. Check our tips below in the description box. Talk about what kind of knives you use. Perfect time to use a carving knife for this particular occasion. Carve off this wing. Put that there. You want to present it well. So if you're carving a turkey, it's not tough. Just make sure you hit the joints. Make sure you're carving in each spot. Another one. Okay, you got the thighs here. You can carve off these wings up here. Go next to it. Get that other wing hanging out right there. Carving into the breast is what I like doing because you get a nice handle on it. And this is where this carving knife really comes into play. Carve really nice, long strokes into it so that when everybody comes by, they can grab a piece of the white meat. Oh baby, this is like one of my favorite parts. I know cooking it is fun, and I know sticking it on that smoker, but it really is the payoff when you start to carve down into it. I see all the juices kind of like falling off of it. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Seriously? Oh, so good. God, the rub is really good, and I can taste the brine. I actually can taste a lot of that dill that went down into this, which is really cool. All right, finish it up here. And there you go. You see all that carving, you see all those nice juices right there. And matter of fact, you have the juice right here. Take some of my juice and pour it into my cup here. Thank you. Remember that juice I told you not to get rid of? Just pour it right on over top of your turkey. Look at that. Pour it on those legs and those wings. That's that good stuff right there. You don't want to get rid of that. Oh boy. Yeah, you don't want to get rid of that. That's the good stuff. Well, that's it. That's how you smoke a turkey. Simple, easy, flavorful, good. You'll love it. Oh my goodness. So it's one thing if they look good, but they also got to feel good. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tales from the Pit. I am Sonny's BBQ Pitmaster, Shannon, and today, showing you how to do this. Baby back ribs. Let's do it. So these are our baby back ribs. Now they may be a little bit different from what you might get in Sonny's, our St. Louis spare ribs. They're a different bit of a cut, all right? Spare ribs come from the belly of the pig. These come from the spine of the pig, which does a lot of work, so you won't get a lot of fat. So generally you'll find these ribs at a Whole Foods store, one that sells food in bulk, just because these come two to a pack, and a lot of specialized grocery stores won't sell these. They'll sell them in a smaller pack, but you'll find these baby backs available in most grocery stores that sell food in bulk. So before we start prepping these baby back ribs up, what we're gonna go do is get our smoker prepared, ready to cook some really good baby back ribs. I have a combo smoker right here. These are super fun, super easy, and they're great for items like baby backs, any ribs in general. This side I have a side that's good for smoking and good for searing items with charcoal, and this side I use for also grilling, which uses propane. How do we prep it? What are we gonna do? All right, so we have our chimney right here. We're gonna put these lighter cubes, which are gonna get nice and hot, and then on top of that, we're gonna put our charcoal. We're gonna do some indirect cooking over here on our grill, and we're gonna end up doing it with some hickory wood. So I got these lighter cubes all lit up, and now we're gonna put some charcoal right on the top. We're gonna get this nice and hot. It's gonna go right inside of our grill. All right, so these coals are getting nice and hot, so we can pour them right now. Just pop open our grill. Now you can see right here, I placed them on the left side of my grill because with my ribs, I'm gonna cook them on the right side. That's called indirect cooking because we wanna do smoking, not direct grilling. So we're gonna let those coals sit for a little bit longer, get a little bit hotter, and we're gonna put a couple pieces of wood chunks right on top. Just wait for about 2 or 3 minutes here. So I'm adding hickory to this right over the coals. We need some of these hickory wood chunks to get hot, to start burning off a little bit and produce some really nice, clean smoke, which will make your baby backs taste amazing. So we're gonna let these burn off a little bit, and we're gonna go start working on these baby backs. All right, so we just finished prepping up our smoker. That's rocking and rolling, getting hot. Now we gotta make a rub. A rub for ribs is imperative when you're smoking, all right? We're talking about a bone-in meat that's somewhat thinner that needs to add more flavor. So what better way to do that than our own very own homemade rub? So what we're gonna do is start off with a base of granulated sugar. We have some salt, a little bit of black pepper, some garlic powder, along with some onion powder. We have some cayenne, one of my favorite seasons because of the heat. We have some chili powder, and my absolute favorite seasoning, smoked paprika. Just give this a whisk. And bam, you got yourself a rib rub. Now while we put that off to the side, we'll actually do our sauce as well. So we have some Sonny's original sauce right here, and we have some honey. This is gonna be able to glaze our ribs at the end of our cooking process. So we're gonna build that right now. So we're just gonna put some honey inside of our Sonny's original sauce. Let's give this a whisk. And bam, there you go. We got our rub and we got our sauce ready for our ribs. Time to go get them prepped up. I'll be right back. So here we are, baby back ribs, the raw baby back ribs that we have. Prepping them is actually very easy. There's only a few things that you need to do to them, but I still have to somewhat clean it up. I still have to make sure that the great meat that I'm cooking is the great meat that I have coming off the smoker. So one thing that I'm gonna do is just go ahead and flip this over. Now, as you can see right here, one of the major things that you have to do when you're prepping ribs, whether that be not only spare ribs or St. Louis, but also baby backs, is remove that membrane. There's like a paper tissue thin membrane on the back. This one was already removed, but all you need is a paper towel. You're able to peel it off very easily, or use the back of a spoon. All right, you wanna get that paper thin membrane on the back because it does not allow for you for that rub to penetrate on the back of that rib and get that maximum flavor that you're looking for out of it. Another thing that you can do is there's stuff on the back, like this little skirt meat back there on the back, and actually as part of this is some of the membrane. So this membrane on the back is something else that you can pull off. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this off because this is unappetizing. This is stuff that I'm really not gonna eat, that I don't want on my ribs. It's not gonna cook down well anyway. But these look great. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my binder and apply my rub right now. Now, I use mustard just because if I see yellow, that means it needs to be covered up by rub. But you can use oil, you can use a high point oil, you can use water, you can just stick your rub on as is. But binders generally help the rub stick and prevent them from not coming off. So you're not gonna taste the mustard at all. It's just a binder. It's gonna cook off during the cooking process. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it here. And you wanna apply it to both the back and the front. And like I said, it's a good guideline for your rub that you're gonna see here. Wherever you see yellow, that means it needs to be covered up with rub. So I got my rub in my shaker, remember 6 inches above, you're just gonna cover it up. Wherever I see yellow. Now you don't need as much rub on the back of the rib, but you do need some. All right, all my yellow's covered up. So I'm just gonna take it, I'm just gonna pat it in, okay? Never rub a rub, okay? That is rule number 1 in the Shannon's Barbecue Bible. Do not rub a rub, okay? Rubbing a rub is gonna cause this rub that you're putting on here to clump and cause uneven taste in your rib. So if you bite into something, you may get a pocket of rub. Just pat it in, that's all you need to do. That sugar, that salt is gonna bring some of that moisture out to the surface. All right, just gonna flip those over and do the same thing. All right, you use all that rub. All right, I'm gonna grab my tray, transfer them on over to my smoker, be right back. Okay, so the smoker's heated up to 250, 275, smoking hot. You can see all that nice blue smoke coming out of there, which means it's clean smoke. I'm gonna open this up. And once again, we're gonna cook this indirectly on this side of our smoker. See that right side's firing up pretty hot. We do not wanna cook our ribs over that because we don't want them to burn right away. This is gonna take a little bit of time. All right, we're gonna close this down. We're not gonna attempt to look at it or anything. It's gonna take a nice smoke nap for about 2 hours. We'll come back and check on it. All right, so our ribs have been on for 2 hours, right? I have some apple juice here. Apple juice is a great product. It goes great with pork. So you just kind of mist your ribs. And like I said, this is at the 2 hour point. You're not looking for temperature right now. You're more looking for color, and you're looking to see if your rub is gonna set, right? We do a rub test. Basically, you can take your pointer finger. If you can rub it down the rib and none of the rub comes off, then it's ready to wrap. But this one is not ready to wrap just yet. So we're gonna spritz it just a little bit here. Make sure it's nice, and then we'll continue to let it cook. So we'll come back in another maybe 25, 30 minutes to check on them again, and you should be spritzing after every 25, 30 minutes. Anytime you open this smoker up to check on your ribs, if they look a little bit dry, a little apple juice ends up taking care of that. All right, it's been another 30 minutes, and they're just about ready to wrap. So once again, this is at another 30-minute mark. So I spritzed them after the first 2-hour mark, another 30 minutes. They should be almost done here, ready to wrap. All right, so it's been about 3 hours. We spritzed our ribs a couple of times. The rub's not coming off. The spritz did really well. It's not washing any of that seasoning off. So it's time for us to get them in the wrap. It's time for us to pull these off and get them wrapped in some really, really good stuff. Onto the tray. All right, let's go get them in the wrap. All right, so we just pulled these ribs off the smoker. Now what we're gonna do is make a wrap. Now I use heavy duty foil because you don't want the ribs to puncture anything that you're gonna put in this wrap. So you're just gonna tear a sheet big enough to fit your ribs. So first thing we're gonna start with is some brown sugar. Okay, after that, you got a little bit of honey. Okay, after that, you got some butter. Now, I love squeezed butter. You can use butter pats, but squeezed butter is generally broken down already, and it works the best for me. Perfect. Now, before you actually put the ribs, which are gonna go face down inside this wrap, just use 1/4 cup of apple juice. I like to keep it in my spray bottle that I use over at my smoker, so I'm just gonna spray it right on top, 1/4 cup. Should be more than enough. And you take your ribs and they're gonna go face down right inside all that goodness, okay? So you're gonna take your wrap and just wrap these ribs up tight. You wanna make sure that they're super tight because there is a braising process that happens. You don't want them to steam too much because of the fact of steaming takes off that bark, it takes off that seasoning that you built that you worked so hard for. Like I said, heavy duty foil works well because those bones poke out a little bit. You don't want to poke a hole in these. Wrapped up tight, there's one. We'll do our other. Same process here. Perfect, let's go get them back on the smoker. Now, these are gonna go face down. We place the meat face down inside of our wrap. We're gonna do the same thing on the grill. They're gonna go face down, let it braise in that butter, that honey, and that brown sugar. Indirectly away from the coals, and we're gonna close this back up. Now, this is gonna take about another 90 minutes, hour and a half for these ribs to be anywhere for you to be near checking them, okay? So when we come back after those 90 minutes, I'm gonna teach you about the bend test, and I'm gonna teach you about temperatures where you should be pulling these ribs from. Alrighty. I feel like these ribs are done, right? They've been on for about 1 hour and 45 minutes in the wrap. Let's take them out and let's see the temperature. Let's see our bend test to see if these ribs are really truly done. Look at those. Now, naturally, I take the temperature, and if I do this, what I like to do is temp right between the thickest ribs, right in the middle. These are reading right at about 202 degrees. And also, if I take this thermal pin and I just poke in between, it feels nice and soft. That means a lot of those fibers have broken down. But also, there's a bend test you can do for this. You see that? You see that middle, that meat in the middle starting to break away? That means those ribs are done. That means the ribs are at a temperature where they're tender enough so that whenever you're ready to sauce them, or if you're ready to eat them right now, you surely can. You should always check every rack, just like you do with any piece of protein that you might put on your smoker, you might put on your grill. Check every piece, all right? So one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have to finish these ribs off. So we have some Sonny's original sauce and honey. We're just gonna brush these over top, and we're gonna take them right on back over to the grill and finish them off on the grill. And there's nothing better than having caramelized sauce on ribs, but it's even better when you're able to grill them. So when your ribs come out of the wrap, there is a rest time. You need to rest them for probably about 15, 20 minutes, right? We talk about the juices having to soak back up into the ribs, those pores being wide open, and that's super important with ribs because ribs are bone-in meat, very thin, so there's a resting period that needs to happen. They need to get down to right at around 170 degrees or maybe about 20 minutes. Now, one thing we're gonna do when we take them over to the grill, we're gonna grill them 2 minutes on each side, all right? That's all they need, they're done. All right, so there's not a whole lot left you need to do to them. They just need to be grilled for 2 minutes on each side, and then they're ready to come off. All right, so we need to take these on over to our propane grill to finish up. Remember, 2 minutes each side. One thing I haven't done yet is I have not sauced the back of them. We're gonna take our sauce on over there. We're gonna stick these face side down. We're gonna sauce the back, 2 minutes each side, and then they'll be ready to eat. So let's do that right now. Okay, so this is the final step of baby backs. We're gonna put some char on these ribs. We're gonna grill them up. There's nothing better than char on anything, especially on some baby back ribs. And this is just like the next step to add some more flavor to them, to caramelize that sauce that we just put on. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So this is our propane grill. Like I said, a combo grill is really great for ribs like this to be able to do 2 steps. So we're just gonna put them down. We're gonna put them down 2 minutes on each side, and then we'll pull them off and be ready to enjoy them. All right, we're gonna take our ribs. We're gonna put them face down on this grill here. Get that nice sizzle. Now remember, it's gonna be 2 minutes on each side. And we're gonna take the sauce that we made earlier and just brush it right here on the back. This is a quick process. This grill got up to about 500 degrees. So we're gonna see some char marks pretty quick. Mixed with some of the sugar and the honey that's in this sauce. It's gonna make for a phenomenal baby back rib. These baby backs are ready to flip. We're gonna take some of that sauce that we made earlier. We're just gonna finish off the front. You don't have to flip them again. They're actually gonna be good to go from here and ready to plate. Spend the 2 minutes on the back side, so let's take these off, transport them to the tray, and take them back on over. All right, baby back ribs, done. All right, take a look at these. Oh my goodness. These are absolutely just perfect. So it's one thing if they look good, but they also gotta feel good, all right? I love the way they feel. They feel nice and tender. You can even see some of the bones starting to pop out of the top of them. So you know me, right? You know what I have to do. I'm not gonna leave without trying what I just cooked. So let's take our ribs and cut into them. I'm gonna flip it over. Now it's nice because I can see the bones. So if you're trying to chop these ribs up, if you're trying to decipher how to get a cut out of them, flip them over on their backside. You can see the lines perfectly that you're gonna end up slicing into. They slide through them right like butter. Let's get a pull here. Look at that. Look how easily they came out. These are cooked perfectly because you can see a nice juice coming out of them. They've been resting for a few minutes, so let's take a bite. So I feel vindicated right now because when you can take a bite, you can see your teeth marks right in it, you know you hit it, you got it right. They taste really good. The tenderness, that juiciness, that moistness that you bit into, there is absolutely nothing better than that. And like I said, the tenderness is spot on. Super happy with these ribs. Try them at home. Try this recipe at home. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say down in the comments section. I always read these. Give me some feedback. Tell me what you liked about this video. Tell me what you want to see. I'm Sonny's BBQ Pitmaster Shannon. Make sure you also like and subscribe. There's a notification bell down there. Ring it. Just ring it. It's like a doorbell, all right? Whenever a video pops up, you'll see my smiling face or other Pitmasters from our Tales from the Pit series. I'm Sonny's BBQ Pitmaster Shannon. Have a good one.